everybody to She Shift. How are y'all doing? Drop it in the feed. Look, I'm all about getting to know, and I want to know, first of all, how you doing? Okay, second of all, I'm always dropping three things your three to do things at the beginning of the show. So are you ready? Okay, so number one is go grab your girlfriends, family members. Number two, go grab a pen and paper because this amazing guest, she's going to be dropping nuggets. Y'all know I'm bringing in some powerhouse, so they're going to always drop us nuggets that empower, inspire us to go after our what's next. And number three, y'all, I'm excited. Guess what we got going on? If you would like to leave a voicemail message for me, you can now leave it on sheshift.co. So yes, go to the website sheshift.co, and drop me a message. May it be is there a topic you want to hear, or better yet, is there a suggestion, or lastly, would you like to tell us how we did tonight? Please do that because we can only get better with you. So go get your three little items. That's so simple. And so then tonight, I want you all to know, first of all, how you guys midlife besties out there. You guys doing good? I hope so. Well, today I'm super excited because guess who I have? I have Monica Madden. She's built so many amazing programs, platforms, and businesses as well. So this is what's going to empower you. She's also, y'all, a therapist. How many of us need that? So she's coming right on time, especially as we begin to pivot. When we pivot, we need that help. So Monica's here to help us and guide us toward what's next. So without further ado, let me bring Monica to the stage. How you doing, lady?
Hello, Pam. How are you?
I am awesome sauce. I'm glad to have you finally on.
Yes, glad to be here. Blessed to be here.
No, that's right. So before we get into doing like we always do, have our little girl talk, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, that's always a trick question for me.
No, it's not.
Let's see. So my name is Monica. That's always how we start, right?
Yes.
I have a 20-year-old daughter, creative daughter. She's going for college for art and design. Homeschooled her, so I was a homeschool parent. Let's see, have recently passed my board exams for my license to officially practice as a marriage and family therapist. What else? I don't know. Let's see. I could say a part of my journey was what led me to marriage and family therapy was my own family dynamics, building and wanting a healthy relationship with my daughter. And a part of my journey was healing from 44 years of depression and suicidal ideation, which led me on this path to writing programs, helping people, parents, just to really learn how to connect and build that relationship.
And I think that, and I love that. And thank you, first of all, thank you for sharing. And I think we should start talking about the building, first of all, creating the healthy relationships, especially for those of us that's over 45. Now that life is really lifing now, as my granddaughter says, life is lifing now.
Mhm.
And now that means everything that was put in the closet now has to come out of the closet. And sometimes that's hard to digest. I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for anybody else. I'll speak for myself. I think that's a little hard to digest. And what I mean digest is now I have to really face it. And that's hard to face, especially after what, 30 years? Put it back in, you put it in the closet, and now it's time to open up the closet. And as the closet is overflowing with an abundance of boxes and all things, lo and behold, the box of creating a better relationship falls out. How does one handle that? Especially after being, now I'm an empty nester, and so now I have to deal with it. So how do we handle that?
A part of that is one is you. It's got to be something that you want to do because, and I always say that our relationships are built on the relationship that we have with ourselves. So we want to really understand how we relate to us, and then we can start determining, right, and working on the relationship with other people. And a lot of times, what we don't do is when we go through different transitions in life, we don't sit there and figure out, okay, how is my life really going to change, and and what's going to be my new way
Mhm.
forward. And like you said, you're an empty nester now, right? Did you when your daughter was leaving home? Did you talk about what does life look like now without our daughter in the house?
Heck no. Girl, we winged it. And I mean we winged it. But I have to say, I don't know if I'm like any other listeners, I have to say now that I am working on being intentional comes with a lot. A lot. But did we talk about it? Did we plan it? And I'm a planner now, so I'm like got my list. I'm like getting the check marks, and when I don't, I mean, and I that one I missed that list. That list is still sitting in the closet. And
Hmm.
I think when I and then it's crazy is because I've talked to so many women our age that are like, yeah, I don't even know where to begin. So when
Hmm.
a woman says that, what would you be your suggestion for her when she says, I don't even know where to start with
I,
this?
I I would say the first thing would be you can start. There's one or two areas. One is what area highly stresses you, right? Because the higher stress we have, we want to start tackling that area first.
Okay.
And then the other area would be what is my goal? What do I want? So it's either going to come from my goal or it's going to come from the area that I'm stressed most about. And sometimes they might be the same thing.
Is it a likelihood they will be the same thing?
Um, Not necessarily. You probably a 50-50 chance. If you look at let me think of one. Like if you say, I'm stressed about finances and finance is my goal, then that's when, that would be in sync with that's where you're gonna start.
Mm, okay. Okay. I see that. I could see that. So
Mhm.
when you became an empty nester, were you prepared mentally?
Yes.
Were you? Don't cover your girl. By this time, she should know. We're close, love. And first day, y'all, we're close.
And it's interesting because for me, I like my quiet time and space.
Mm,
And I feel like when sometimes when my daughter's around, I feel like I need to be interacting with her. I want to interact with her. I want to, make sure that she's okay.
mhm.
When I operate, I need some quiet time. And it's interesting because she came home from school and it was like 9 o'clock in the morning and she wants to talk and she's asking me what's going on. And I'm like, okay, look, I need until 1
Wait a
because
minute.
I'm
Not the
planning
one.
my day. I'm in my head, I'm like praying, and
Yeah.
I'm not ready to be in front of the world until 1 unless it's already planned.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's funny. 1 o'clock, Monica. Okay,
One
duly noted.
one
One,
p.m.
one
I mean,
o'clock.
I do have my days, where it's a
Oh,
little
yes.
early.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but yeah, for 1 o'clock for me, yes, because I'm a late nighter. I'm up until
Oh,
3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
oh, wow.
So yeah,
Oh, girl. Okay, duly noted. 1 o'clock in the meet, love. But
1 p.m.
oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
But that comes with even time and understanding that yourself, right? And building that relationship with yourself and having your own boundaries.
Yeah, that's true.
Knowing what do you need for you, right? And saying, this is relationship building. Hey, honey, you know what? I don't mind talking to you, but if I'm a little snappy in this before 1, this is what's really going on. I'm trying not to be, but at the same time, right?
And
This is
I respect that. I respect that. At least you do say it.
Mhm.
Um, and one thing I'm glad we are talking about is relationship building. I matter of fact just attended um Why Can't We Be Friends? It was really interesting. Why We Can't Be
Mhm.
Friends workshop. it was just day before yesterday.
Mhm.
And a lot of women had said that boundaries was really the one of the top one was boundaries, other one was you can't support my table but I can support yours,
Mhm.
which I totally can see that. um,
Mhm.
and what was the other one? Loyalty.
Mhm.
Loyalty. I think we had about 5 or 6, but those
Mhm.
were the top 3, and I can see that. So then we talked about how do you even build a relationship with one person. Look, I was one that's like, back the day, I wanted all the people.
Mhm.
Now, I don't me, myself, and I, we're good by
Mhm.
ourselves. But you're right, you do have to, but then let me say this, do you agree or disagree that you have to be comfortable with yourself and not being selfish? I
Mhm.
that was one of the things that came out of it.
Mhm. You
Can,
do.
can you be selfish though and forget about everybody?
We can so it depends
Okay.
on like the scenario, the situation. Because like for me, right? And when I look at my boundaries, I'm enforcing them for me.
Hmm.
I'm the enforcer of the boundary. So for me, I would not call that being selfish. Because hey, I've got something to do. I got my day planned out. Um and I need to stick to it
Hmm.
for my own mental health. So you can call me selfish if you want, but it's the way that life is. And I feel like a lot of times we call things selfish because we don't understand the thing.
That's true. I
Or
agree.
yeah, or because we we wish that we could do it
Hmm.
where we setting boundaries, but because we're so into people pleasing and making sure everybody else is okay, that anybody that does not do the same thing that I do, then I'm gonna
Hmm.
call selfish. So it just, we got to. It's something we have to work through.
I do, but do you think that it becomes harder as the older we get? Because you know how we get in our ways. Do you think becomes harder?
Actually, I think that it becomes easier.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you realize, hey, I'm running for nothing and I'm tired and I'm laying down and I don't, you're just gonna have to wait till I get up, right? We get to that point to where we have to do that.
True.
And
True.
then sometimes we get to the point to where when we're older, some older, when we get older, some of us as we get older start to say, you know what, I gotta quit caring about everything and
Mm,
everybody and start taking care of myself.
that's true. That's true. So then when we start beginning to face our what's next, now let me ask you this. Have you faced your what's next now that you have pivoted to this new journey in your life? And if
It's
so, and how did you handle it?
well, I am in the midst of my what's next.
Ooh, okay.
So, and that what's next for me um, is building up a therapy practice.
Okay.
I spent 30 years in IT. So I retired from IT last year so that I can start to work towards my what's next. And now I'm in the midst of building it.
So how do you feel about it?
I feel good. And I feel good. I'm in an uncomfortable position, but I feel good because when we're in alignment with what we want to do, I would say, might even say, with God's will, when we're walking in what God wants us to do, then it it's it's a place of peace,
Mm, I
uncomfortable peace.
peace. I love that word.
Mhm.
That's a good word. Well, women around the world are all 45 and older because so many people. And the reason why I created this podcast was because women over 45 were told you had your chance. And so now that they're learning to pivot, when they hear the word, they're like, okay, now what do I do? What do I do? So, as a woman that is pivoting, or even let's just say they're facing their pivot,
Mhm.
what would be a piece of advice that you would like to give to them?
I would say don't give up. I would say, figure out, don't look at it as this whole big thing, but it's like, what's one thing that you can do next that's going to get you to your goal? And figuring out what keeps you up at night. What do you really if you could go and help somebody, what would you help them do? And really understanding that and being patient and kind to yourself as you start this next journey and figuring out what's next for you, because it's always going to be something's going to be next.
True.
Sometimes we're forced into a what's next through, layoffs or things like that. Look at what's going on in the world, right?
Mhm.
Some are going to be forced into what's next, and be okay with that, and know that, um, I'm going to say this. This is a popular phrase: is you grow outside of your comfort zone.
Mm.
Your what's next is
Yeah,
outside of your comfort zone.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. I don't know how many comfort zones I done faced. No, I just pray as I go and hope for the best.
Hmm.
Did you see when you did begin the pivot, or you begin your shift? Let's call it a shift. As you begin the shift, did you know you were going to land as being a therapist? Did you have any inkling that you're going to be a therapist?
No, and in fact, I was like, I don't want to be counseling. I don't want to be there doing therapy. That is just not for me. Because I come from the lane of coaching,
Mm-hmm.
um, and my experience years ago with it was just like, oh, that's not for me.
Right.
But when I looked at, I really am into the relationship building, and whether we like it or not, we are products of our relationships.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
ones the ones we grew up with, our parents, our family, our friends, our classmates, we're products of everything that we've been introduced to. So until we can learn how to do health relationships in a healthy way, um, it's a struggle, it's a challenge.
I agree with you. One thing I really like that you talked about, healthy relationships. What is a healthy relationship?
When you can agree to disagree and not be mad at each other,
Mm,
when the other person can do things that you don't like and it doesn't even matter, you're not going to get upset about it. I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we have, is being offended by other people's behaviors, because we expect just out of our humanity is other people to act like us, do like us, think like us. And when we realize that everybody's different and nobody might think anything like you or do anything of the things that you do, and being okay with that. It's your uniqueness, walking in your uniqueness.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I love this that we're talking about it, because women around, I've been meeting more women that are over 45 and older, and are really struggling with that relationship piece. And I'm always saying that you have to have, look, listen to me. You always have to have a relationship good with yourself.
Mhm.
And it's hard to work on the relationship with yourself, especially what you have faced, what you have conquered, what you have overcame in the past. And seeing that this shift, especially the shift unknown, is really, let's be honest, it's scary. And not knowing where you're going to, not knowing what's coming to you, or what's for you, that is that's also scary.
Mhm.
Um, but let's be honest also too, that feeling of fear is has come from, excuse me, the relationships that we've had in the past. Because if you were groomed or brought up to know that once fear comes in, what do we always say? We're going to stomp it and face it.
Mhm.
It would be so much easier, but it's easier said than done now that we're on this side of the fence.
It is, because it's everything that we experience and go through, and our decisions are based off of patterns that we grew up with.
Hmm.
And that's just deep in our bones and our
Yeah.
physiology. I heard you say that, somebody said, you had your chance,
Hmm.
and if you think that, it's because you were told that from somebody else that did not know better.
Right. Right. But also know that. when you, because when I heard it, it stung me for a minute. But you
Mhm.
also have to learn that that's their opinion, and they're okay to it. But you also have to move past it.
Mhm.
And I think that I feel that some of those words, what do they say? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a lie. I think
Mhm.
words do hurt people, and it does hold people back. And then though it does depend on you how much you're going to let allow it to hurt you.
Mhm.
Are you going to just, when it comes to you, step over it, or how are you going to handle it? I do believe that that is a lot of hangups with women our age or older.
Mhm.
They hold on to that a lot.
Well, and the thing about it is, we hold on to things and carry things that don't belong
Mhm.
to us, and that we don't even know that we're carrying.
It's true.
Somebody could speak something over you and you not think about it. But I know Dr. Amen has a book called Your Brain is Always Listening.
Hmm.
Our brain is always picking up things. Our brains store, billions of has space for billions of data. And
Yeah.
everything that we hear, everything we see, everything we experience gets stored in our brain. One of the things I do at night, and I started this practice when I realized, probably when my daughter was 2. Um, they would say, I would hear, "Oh, she's a terrible 2," and
Mm,
I would tell people, "I'm not allowing you to speak into my daughter, into my family like that," and I rebuke that.
yeah.
So
You
then,
do.
would you say?
You do have to. You have to
Okay.
change that mindset because
Yeah,
it'll stay with you, not knowing the impact that it'll have on you when you get older.
yeah. And at night, one of my things I say is, I rebuke anything that was spoken to me that don't belong to me.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Do you feel that when you say that every night that it helps ease you? It
Yeah,
does. You do.
it does, especially because we don't really know sometimes we don't pay attention to what's being spoke.
True.
We can just accept it as is,
Yeah.
and then we end up carrying that somewhere down the line.
That's true. That's true. Well, before we go, look, I could talk to you, all day. I like, girl, I can talk all day long. Well, real quick, what is one move, just one, a woman can make this week to start mastering herself again?
One move I would say is to know, every day, do a self evaluation of where you are emotionally.
Ooh, I like that. Self evaluation
Hmm.
and create a permission slip.
Hmm.
Ooh,
A permission slip to feel, and give yourself permission to let go.
ooh, that's good. That's good. I agree with you because I created a permission slip. Actually, I did do I created a self audio self letter, and it's on Dear What's Next. I give yourself permission. And so you get to hear the permission of letting it go and telling women it's okay. You're right. We carry so much on our shoulders and we don't know how to let it go. But I feel if I heard someone tell me it's okay to let it go, it'll help that next person to release it and
Mhm.
go.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I really appreciate about you and starting this show here, because it can help women,
Yeah,
right, to figure out. Sometimes we don't know that we need to let go of anything until we hear it on the show.
that's true.
So
That's
the things that you bring here, the people that you bring on, are all awesome, and
mm,
always provide a good nugget, right, just to get you even a little inch further.
right. If nothing else to think about, okay, okay, let me write that down. Let me start brainstorming on how it can move. But I agree with you.
Hmm.
So, Monica, one thing I want to do before we get into the other piece, I see you have your renewed self and relationship therapist. What
Hmm.
does that mean?
So the name of my company, and we need to renew the relationship with ourselves, and also the relationships around us.
So how do I renew? What's one thing I can do to renew myself?
is one thing would be to, if you don't give yourself grace, give yourself grace.
Love
Start
it.
there.
So do you give yourself, you said grace or praise?
Grace.
Grace. So how do
Mhm.
you give yourself grace?
I sit there and I'll think about something, and before I get upset or have emotions attached to something, hey, it's okay. This is where things are. This is what's happening. It's okay.
Okay, look, I'm just now starting to practice. So I'm gonna have to ask for grace as well. That's
Mhm.
what I'm gonna have to ask for grace because I am now. Though someone brought it to my attention, they're like, "Why do you do that?" I'm like, I never really thought of it. And they were giving me examples after examples, which I could have ran from them. I could have
Mhm.
ignored them. But as I'm getting older, I want to walk through it. And
Mhm.
I'm willing to walk through it, good, bad, and ugly. And so I'm like, I'm working on that, but I'm also giving myself grace. Do
Mhm.
you find it's hard to give yourself grace though?
Not now, but it
Okay.
was at the beginning.
Okay.
I didn't finish a task. Don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself some grace. Hey, you're living going through some challenges right now. Give yourself some grace. It the concept of it sounds easy, but it's our habits, right? Our habits were we weren't used to. I wasn't used to having grace. I didn't even know what grace was.
Right. Let's be honest. I didn't either. I
Yeah,
didn't either. And boundaries. Girl, please. I didn't know what a boundary was until now. I didn't even know what it was. But I'm learning boundaries is really hard. But understand that we need them. We need these boundaries in order for us to get over to the what's next so we can move on and do our shifting thing.
we do. And then when we look at the boundaries, we can set a whole bunch of them, but
Of
really know
course.
which ones are really important.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know I got a lot, and I'm gonna just try to work one at a time. Don't laugh, Monica. At least I'm willing to admit it. At least I'm willing to admit
Well,
it.
and it's good because you're aware of them. Because a lot of times we have boundaries that we don't even know they're implicit
Yes,
inside of us, but we don't even know that that was a boundary until the boundary was hit.
yeah, girl. People don't hit that nerve. You're like, hmm. Which that's where I was. Let me just speak on. That's where I, Pamela Stone, was at. They were hitting that nerve, girl. Was just like, what is going on? Then I had to start looking at me, you
Hmm.
know, and I couldn't put it over. You're laughing, but at least I know I
I
recognize,
was, and I was like, okay, do you say this to her on the show right now? But a
girl,
lot of times when somebody hits our nerve, that's our responsibility and not theirs.
right. And
It's
it
our
and
it's our nerve, and I
that's
have to figure out what made that nerve
right. I
a
did.
spot, a hard spot for me, and work on that. There's not something to do, right? Work on
Right,
if you have a trigger and somebody,
right,
and I look, you get on my nerves. Hey, those are your nerves. I'm
right.
taking responsibility. You let me have your nerves, okay?
Girl. Woo, child. If only we ain't even got enough time. That's another story of its own right
Mhm.
there.
No.
What is the biggest lie a woman over 45 tells themselves that keeps them stuck?
Let's see. The biggest lie over 45. Let me think. Oh, I'll get to that later.
Ooh,
I'll get to that.
that's true.
And
Some
guess what? And all of them, I'll get to that pile up, and then we become overwhelmed and emotional and tired and
mad and
mm,
think about the woulda, coulda,
mm,
shouldas and all that in a bag of chips.
mm,
Right, you're right. So what's one thing? How can we not allow that to creep in?
one thing is to put it on your schedule, yeah, on your calendar. If we don't write it and commit ourselves to doing it, then that's how our stuff gets piled up.
All right.
I can tell you, I've got a list of things that I should do, that I would like to do, not should do,
Yes.
like to do. And I already know that if I didn't write it down and do it, it's not getting done.
Oh, girl. No.
Mm,
I I got a calendar. Look, I had two planners. One just was working my nerves to the point of, you know what? And I paid money for it. I had to put it aside and go get me one that I can write
mhm,
big, write little, write every kind of color. Colors mean something to me. That other little, I couldn't. But again, you're right. Writing it down is so important. And everybody talking about I got it up here. That's a lie
mhm.
because we always forget.
Something.
Right.
Mhm,
Right. Well, my
mhm.
Miss Monica, look, our time is almost up. I can't believe it. Geesh. So before we get to the next segment of the show, where can people connect to you and how where can they connect to you at?
The easiest place would probably be to go to my website, Monica M. What is it? MonicaMMadden.com.
Okay.
And out there, there is, a form that you can click on, a form that say a free consult. But that's going to be the easiest way to connect with me. And then my email is monica@monicammadden.com.
Okay, guys. If you're not like me, you're listening. Look, I got you because I've been writing it down. So that will be in the notes. I'm always good for it. Wait. I missed the whole show. I didn't write that down. Then I'm like, oh man. So I got you guys though. So give me a few days and you'll get the show notes for today's show. So at this point in time, Monica, what I always do, I shift the show a little bit and we do rapid fire. And I just ask you a question and then you give me what's first thing come in mind.
Okay.
You ready?
I am. I'm
Okay.
scared. Yeah.
I, I promise you, I was good. I was good. Morning routine or sleep in?
Um, Both.
Ooh, okay. One word that describes where you are in life right now.
Happy.
What is something you stopped doing after 45 that set you free?
Arguing with people that don't listen.
Mm. Coffee or tea or what you are sipping while you're doing work?
Usually coffee.
You have a favorite kind?
House blend.
Ooh, okay. The book, podcast, or person that cracked you open.
Probably, probably person. Oh yeah, definitely person.
A person, okay.
Mhm.
What is something women 45 and over should stop apologizing for immediately?
Um, for existing.
Ooh, I like that. Finish this sentence. I used to think it was too late to what, but now I know.
Change careers.
We'll get back to that in a minute. What does your what's next look like in one sentence?
I would say, and my what next looks like impacting families to create healthier relationships. I
Ooh,
would I would say in the next 5 years, the goal is 10,000 families.
I could see that. When you shifted careers, how did you handle it?
I was full tilt, ready to go.
She was y'all.
Mhm.
I was there with her.
And the my new career took up space that my old career could not have any longer.
So it was meant to be.
Hmm.
Well, those are my rapid questions, and thank you. So as we get ready to close this out, Monica, this was exactly what our midlife friends need to hear. And I think that I want to first and foremost thank you for joining me. Where can we already talked about where they can find you. Do you have a podcast? Didn't we talk about this?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna relaunch it.
Okay. So it
And
has. It hasn't started yet.
I haven't relaunched it. I'm planning to relaunch July 1st. And actually, you'll be able to go to it from my website as well.
Okay. As we close down our show, sad to say, I am sad. I'm always sad because I think every woman that I have, when I'm enjoying myself, the time goes so fast. And you know, I could talk all day, so I'm going to respect look, my boundaries. So, what would you like to leave our listeners, our listeners with?
Yeah, I would just say one is continue to tune in. Pamela brings good stuff on here.
Oh, thank
Just
you.
just one nugget to get you moving. And then really to really think about the relationship that you have with yourself and those around you.
I agree. So I'm going to put you in the back in the green room. I'll be back with you. Please don't hang out. I'll
Okay.
be right back. Oh my goodness, you guys. Today's show was nuggets. Monica was dropping nuggets after nuggets after nuggets. If you missed the show, you can catch the show on many of the larger podcast platforms. You will also be able to get the show notes. Let me say this. If you are sitting someplace and you're like, okay, I'm ready to talk about my what's next. Okay, you guys, I'm going to say this. I'm breaking open my calendar where I'm going to sit down with you if you want to have a one on one session with me, and we can break open my calendar. We can talk about your what's next within reason. So if you are interested in having a what's next conversation with me, you can go ahead and you can email me at visionsmadellc@gmail.com, and then put in the subject line, if you could just put what's next consultation. I would definitely love to hear from you. If the email is too much for you, you like to text, like I'm a texter, I believe, you can text me at 614-674-0074 and put in there what's next consultation, and I will be in touch with you. I'm ready for you to pivot. I'm ready for you to go after your what's next, and know that you don't have to do this by yourself. But I want to leave this with you, midlife friends. If this conversation is something for you, this is your soul talking. Don't ignore it. I want you to go after it and follow us and subscribe. But better yet, what I want you to do is share this episode with someone who you think needs to hear it. And look, don't forget to leave me a voicemail. I'm super excited. You can leave me a voicemail on sheshift.co. That's CO. Leave me a voicemail message. I would love to hear from you. Who knows? May even play your voice, may even play the voicemail message at the end of the show. Well, that's it, you guys. I hope you got some nuggets about relationships. I hope this inspires you to go after your what's next. Until then, don't forget, go out and go get your what's next, because it's literally right around the corner. And guess what? Breathe, y'all. Take care until then. Bye.